Bruce's big call Dinar Intel Tuesday night the 7th of January 25. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Bruce's big call Dinar Intel Tuesday night the 7th of January 25. Transcribed by Wiser now emailed to recaps. Welcome everybody to the big call tonight. It's Tuesday, January 7th and you're listening to the big call. Welcome everybody, all around the globe, wherever you're located. We're glad you joined us. We're going to have a good call tonight and looking forward to it. I've got some pretty good intel to give you guys. But before we get into that, I would like to go ahead and pray to call in, like we do every Tuesday and Thursday night. You know, guys, I want to pray in a request now that is fairly recent since 10:30 Pacific time this morning. We heard that there were major fires in Southern California in the Palisades area. They think they call it Pacific Palisades, but they're referring to it as Palisades, and these are hurricane force type winds, Santa Ana winds that are fueling this fire. Alright, let's cut into intel, and let's see what we have to talk about tonight. What's very interesting to me is that we heard from Iraq yesterday that President Trump had spoken with President Sadani of Iraq. Now let's cut to the banks and redemption centers for a moment. Banks today are getting rates on their screens that are fluctuating. That means they're trading. They're moving up and down, whatever is going on with those currencies and trading. The redemption centers today, however, are not seeing rates on the screen. And that's okay, because the rates that are going to show up, and it should be tomorrow, are going to reflect new values, higher values, and I believe the Iraqi dinar is one that will show a higher than what was on the screens the last couple of days. Now we've heard it has RV 1, 2, 3, 4 times already, or whatever, already, and maybe it did. But this is a way that Iraq is going to put out their rate internationally. And so that we can see it too here in the United States, sometimes we're blocked on it. Now, the other thing is, when it comes to the Forex rates affect the bank screens, the bank rates on the screens. The redemption center screens are not coming off of the Forex. They're being, I don't want to use the term manipulated, but they're being controlled by other aspects, and I think that's really going to be good. Really good. So what we're hearing from several sources today was that tomorrow will be a day of releases, which I believe we're talking about financial releases to the banks globally. And I'll come back and finish that statement in a minute. What's been happening since early this morning? Like dark 30, early this morning is that all of the banks and redemption centers around the globe have been pinging back and forth through the Starlink satellite system, which is directly connected to the quantum financial system, so Starlink, QFs. And this is happening, and should be happening until possibly as late as 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. That was supposed to be complete by around 10 o'clock tonight, which it's just past that now Eastern time. But I think really, it could be done now, or it could be done early morning tomorrow morning, and I continue my statement before about what is happening beyond that. Those paying things that are happening. Why do we need that? This is the first time every bank and redemption center have been interconnected on the Starlink system, okay? And that's how it's all going to fly. So it's really good that that's happening now, and that should be the last thing that we have happen in the way of readiness prior to us getting notified. Now, I said we were supposed to be getting releases tomorrow. That's referring to finances going to the banks, to wherever that needs to go around the globe tomorrow, and we may get our notifications either tomorrow or Thursday. It looks like we could get them tomorrow and start exchanges on Thursday. It's possible we can get them if we get our numbers early enough tomorrow that we could exchange tomorrow afternoon. But right now, my guess is based on the information so far, today and tonight, as late as 8 o'clock Eastern tonight. The information is pointing toward us getting notified tomorrow, or, I don't like the or Thursday, and exchanging on Thursday. And I know you're thinking, Charlie Ward Thursday. That's true, but realize this, tomorrow is Wednesday, January 8, and the 8th, remember, is a key number for China and the Chinese elders. I think they would like to have us to be notified, at least notified, if not started our exchanges on tomorrow, the 8th of January. So that is really where we are right now. Now we always wonder, what about our R&R and our social security and all of that stuff and the Nasara? Well, it's like Bob mentioned, tomorrow is the second Wednesday. We had one on the 1st, and then we've got one tomorrow on the 8th. And I do not know whether we're going to see an increase in social security tomorrow. It's supposed, According to our social security source, we're supposed to have it this month of January. But we don't necessarily get the increase on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd or 4th Wednesday of the month. So let's see what happens on that. R&R is supposed to occur this month. I don't know for sure when it occur and whether we see it at the redemption center like we've heard before. That may have changed, but we'll have to stay tuned and see what happens on that. But as far as everything else is concerned, we are moving through. President Trump made a wonderful speech today with some questions for the press for about an hour and 6 minutes, and he talked about, Canada. He talked about Greenland. He talked about the Panama Canal, and maybe getting it back and getting it out of the hands of China that's got 2 ports on either side of the Panama Canal, and the fact that we're paying way more than anyone else is for our US ships and our Navy. But we are in a very good place right now. I would hope that we get notified tomorrow, and whether we start exchanges Wednesday afternoon or Thursday. Thursday is looking very good right now. Saying that to you guys I get this information, I go through it, I vet it, and we just do the best we can to bring you what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing, so we'll see where this goes. Okay, the other thing is this. I wanted to get into this briefly about the med beds, because we did talk about the med bed 100s. People are just loving that. And I got this information day to confirm there are 26,450 med bed centers in United States, does not include what's in Canada, doesn't include what's in Mexico, doesn't include what's around the globe. They have it positioned where med bed centers are all over the world now. 26,450 med bed centers in the United States. And the cool thing about that is each center has 2 med beds in it, 2 of the holographic med beds. That's the way to go, and I'm looking forward to getting in there post-haste. So I just wanted you guys to know that's a lot of med bed centers, and we've got plenty and we've got them. They're strategically placed around the country. And I'm excited to begin that ride shortly after we begin our exchanges, very shortly, and I'm sure many of you are as well, and I think that's everything I wanted to say. 3. About the new class that Sue has starting, but not a question about anything else. No RV flags. You know this and that I'm having problems with my PayPal account. None of that for that, you go right to PayPal, call them up and ask them to help you. That's what their customer service is for. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say tonight. If we have another call Thursday, which we should, and the reason I say we should is because I want to do a celebration call. We get our numbers tomorrow or Thursday. I want to do a celebration call, and then I think that what we should do will be a long call, just be a short call, 20 minutes, probably for Sue and Bob and I to get on our thank yous and our goodbyes. So thank you Bob, thank you, GCK, thank you Jeannie, thank you Pastor Scott, thank you everyone, the SAT team, thanks everyone who has contributed to Paul. Let's all stay in faith and believe for this to manifest for us tomorrow, where we get our toll-free numbers and can call and set our appointments. So let's pray the call out. Listen to the full version on the official DinarReport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: Dinar Recaps.